Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. Supreme Court Bar Association's Executive Committee has passed a resolution objecting to the unilateral changes which were made to the emblem of the Supreme Court and the statue of the Lady of Justice without consulting the members of the bar. The members of the bar have said that we are equal stakeholders in the administration of justice, but these changes were proposed and they were never brought to our attention, and we are totally clueless on the rationale behind these changes. Now, the association has also objected to the proposal to build a museum in the erstwhile judges library, and they had demanded a library come cafe lounge for the members of the bar at the erstwhile judges library. And now in the resolution which they have passed, they have said unanimously oppose the proposed museum in the high security zone and press our demand for a library and a cafe come lounge for our members. And this resolution has been endorsed by 21 members of the executive committee. So we thought that we'll speak on this issue with former Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, Mr. Govind Mathur. So thank you so much for joining on the Federal. And it's a pleasure to have you on the program and speak to you on this particular issue. Uh, Now we realize that, that this decision which was taken was a unilateral one. Nobody was consulted. The emblem of the Supreme Court was changed. The statue of justice was changed. And it seems that nobody was consulted. Now, what would you really say to this, the demands which have been made by the Supreme Court Bar Association?
You see, so far as this change in emblem is concerned, that was made on 1st of September 2024. That is about 1 month and 20 days earlier. Nobody objected at that time. The President of India, she came in a program where all district judges from entire country were there. This was a big program and everybody was knowing that yes, new emblem is going to be introduced and a flag was also introduced. So I think so far as emblem and flag are concerned, Supreme Court Bar Association is also not of much concern for that. Their main issue is with regard to the establishment of a museum, or to say, instead of granting that space to them for that place to them for establishing their lounge, cafe, etc. And this is the main objection. With regard to the statue of justice or Lady of Justice is concerned, yes, whenever you are going to make important changes in some established feature, then it is always appropriate to have deliberations with all stakeholders. And I feel that the lawyers are equal stakeholders so far as justice delivery system is concerned. Supreme Court or the Chief Justice should have consulted all these issues. They should have taken the bar in confidence before making some changes in the statue of the Lady of Justice. But I tell you one thing, that so far as delivery of justice is concerned, no judge or lawyer is taking care or keeping in mind what is the statute and how that is concerned. They ultimately, the thrust is the delivery of justice.
So, Justice Govind Mathur, since you yourself said that this was a unilateral decision, or looks like a unilateral decision by the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice of India, do you think that the demands which have been put forth by the Supreme Court Bar Association, they are fair? And when they say that they are equal stakeholders, they've not been consulted, so would it be fair to blame them?
You see, what I mentioned is that it was appropriate that the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice of India would have consulted with or have deliberations with the Supreme Court Bar Association before making such changes. So far as their demand with regard to have a lounge and cafe in place of museum is concerned, it appears to be quite a genuine demand. And when this matter was pending before the Supreme Court, or this was under consideration, then the appropriate course was to have deliberations with the Bar Association. One thing I want to mention, that Supreme Court, the basic responsibility is to deliver the justice, and at the same time, the administration, the judicial administration also, for a smooth judicial administration and to avoid all these kind of objections, etc., with the bar, or to have a harmony among the bar and bench. It is always desirable to have deliberations, to have confidence of bar with this system. If Chief Justice of India would have consulted all these issues with the Supreme Court Bar Association before taking any decision or before declaring their own decisions, it would have been appropriate to have deliberations and these objections would have not been there. Just to avoid all these things, to have a smooth judicial administration, it is always appropriate to discuss each and everything with every stakeholder. And the lawyers' body, the body of advocates, is the most important stakeholders, and therefore, it would have been better if the Supreme Court would have discussed all these issues with the bar.
No, but whom would you blame if that deliberation and discussion has not happened? Whom would you blame? Would you blame the Supreme Court administration? You're going to blame the
You see, it is always the upper hand that is to be blamed. So far as in this case is concerned, it is the Chief Justice of India. He is the head of the administration. He is the person who is taking care of the judicial administration of Supreme Court. So yes, the prime responsibility is of the Chief Justice of India. He should have taken into confidence the entire bar before declaring each and everything. But I want to mention it is not. I'm not blaming, but yes, it was his responsibility.
Hmm. But I'm sure he would have realized this and how the Supreme Court Bar Association would take it. But even then, he went ahead. And like the Supreme Court Bar Association members have said, the 21 of them who've endorsed this resolution, they said that despite our opposition, they went ahead with the building of the museum. Now, what does that go to show? Which means that he knew about the complaints, he knew about the grouse from the members, and even then those things were dismissed. So, what does it really show about the Supreme Court administration?
You see, if Bar Association made any representation orally or in writing earlier, brought all these things in the notice of the Chief Justice of India. I don't know whether those were brought into his notice or not, but I think all these issues would have been in his notice, would have been brought in his notice. So he must be aware of all these things. I feel that he should have acted democratically. After all, you are leading a very important institution of the country. You are leading a constitutional body. So you are not required to act so unilaterally. I would not like to say that you don't consider yourself as a monarch, but yes, people may say that nowadays, head of the institutions of every kind, may that be even including the judicial bodies, the heads are acting like monarch. They think that yes, their decision is final, and that is not good so far as judicial administration is concerned. And I feel that this is yet the time is available to rethink on the entire issue, even with regard to the lady of statue of the Lady of Justice, and also with regard to handing over this premises for to the Bar Association, Supreme Court Bar Association, for utilizing it as a lounge and cafe.
Right.
Supreme Court
Justice
should
Mathur,
rethink about that.
right. Okay, so you think that there should be a rethink over it, and the decision always can be taken once again.
Yes, I feel that so far as decisions are, if and everyone should be open to rethink about their own earlier decisions. It is
Hmm.
not. This is simply an administrative issue. It can be reviewed. It can be reconsidered, and with the open mind, it should be reconsidered.
Okay. Now, coming to the Supreme Court's 75th anniversary, which was observed on 1st of September, and that was the day when this decision to change the insignia and the flag and everything was taken into consideration. Uh, Now, what do you think that the new insignia of the Supreme Court, the emblem has been changed, and over which also there is a lot of opposition? Why do you think there is opposition over the emblem of the Supreme Court? Do you find anything amiss about that emblem?
So far as emblem is concerned, I have seen that emblem. There is nothing wrong in that. But I don't know what is the legal authority behind that legal emblem, that Supreme Court emblem. So far as national emblem is concerned, the Act of 2005 is there. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not aware about any legal background with regard to the Supreme Court emblem. It may be as a consequence of the result of some resolution of the full court of Supreme Court. I don't think there would be any enactment in that regard. If any resolution is taken by the Supreme Court for such change, then all right, there is only a cosmetic. I tell you that people want appropriate delivery of justice. No judge and no lawyer and no litigant is taking care of what is the emblem and what is written there. Nobody is going to take care of that. If you are otherwise delivering your services adequately, all right.
No, but do you think that there was a change to need? There was a need for a change in the emblem and the flag. What was the need? Why do you think that this need arose to change?
You see, there was no need. There was no need. These cosmetic changes. I tell you one thing, that if the Chief Justice of India was thinking about these changes, better he would have applied his mind uh, for expeditious disposal of the cases and pending before the Supreme Court. He, being an elder, he would have advised the high courts and the subordinate courts to expedite all the matters. He would have looked into the issues relating to the legal aid, etc. In any case, to make judicial system more litigant friendly in any manner. Instead of wasting your time in all these cosmetic changes, the better is do something well founded.
True. Now, I'm wanting to come to the statue of justice. Now, a lot has been said. Many people are criticizing that what was the need to change the statue of justice? And it has been done to one extreme. Now, the blindfold has been removed, and with the Chief Justice himself saying that the justice is not blind. I want your thoughts, sir, on this.
You see, actually, it is only, I don't know what is the importance of this statue of Lady of Justice. We borrowed from West, continued it, now changed, giving some in the name of getting it away from your colonial legacy. Certain changes have been made there. These all better you remove this statue, this Lady of Justice. No more, that is no more required. Your emblem is sufficient. Do work in court, deliver justice. Otherwise, you see why all these things have been made. This controversy has been raised by the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court. There is no need of such type of a statue. This is, as a matter of fact, it was only a decorative piece in the library of judges there. They have changed, all right. That would have been kept in their godown. Instead of making certain changes which are also not much relevant. When you are talking about law, then all right, everybody will interpret that with its own vision. Now, all right, if the law is blind, yes, law is required to be equal to each and every person. It is not required to be governed by face or status or stature of the litigant. So blind is okay. And at the same time, somebody can interpret in the way as the Chief Justice has interpreted.
Sir, you yourself have been a Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court. And do you think that there is any importance of the statue of justice? Because we've seen it in films, we've seen it in courtrooms, and, there's too much of importance which has been attached to the statue of Lady Justice. So, why do you think there's so much of hullabaloo about it after the look of it has been changed completely?
In my eyes, this statue of justice, this statue of the lady of the justice is nothing more than a decorative piece. It is only a cosmetic value. Otherwise, no judge or a lawyer or a litigant is taking care that yes, because this statue is there, therefore we may remain assured that yes, justice will be delivered. The justice is to be delivered as per your constitutional provisions, as per your law, as per legal authority, and not by these cosmetic things. So let it be removed. Instead of making any changes, better go with your constitution and go with your law, and let the judges may work, lawyers may assist, and litigants be satisfied.
Okay, so you are saying that let this statue of justice be removed as just a cosmetic change. But coming to the other aspect of this statue of justice, I was talking about the blindfold. Now let's talk about the sword now, which has been replaced with a constitution. Now the Lady of Justice holds a constitution instead of the sword. The balance is still there, but the sword has been now replaced with a constitution book. Now, what would you really say to that?
I tell you, these are all cosmetic things. I am of the view that let this statue be removed from Indian courts. No need. Have our own emblem is there, national emblem is there. That is always there in each and every court. Supreme Court has made its own emblem. Let it be there with the Supreme Court. But I don't know why Chief Justice has wasted his precious time and intellect in making all these cosmetic changes. Let it would have been as it was earlier. These are not the things concerned with our judicial system.
No, but
Supreme
what is
Court
the
Bar
logic?
Association is
No, but
no
Justice Mathur,
logic, nothing doing.
there could be some
I tell
logic.
you, there is no logic in whatever
Yes.
logic is given by the Chief Justice. That yes, now the law is not blind. I say the law was never blind. It was
Hmm.
only the judges that yes, the justice is not required to be governed by faces, not governed by the status, not governed by stature. The justice should be delivered without any fear and without any favor. So yes, it was a patti was there, and then now so it had a philosophy behind it. This was an accepted. This is accepted an entire globe. Now I don't know. One fine morning, somebody, an individual has decided to make certain changes. He introduced the changes. There is no legal authority behind it. Now next Chief Justice may also may restore the earlier one statute. These are not. These are very. I think judges and Chief Justice should act in such a manner that these cosmetic changes are causing hue and cry in the entire country because of some immature act.
Uh,
I never want to use this term for the highest authority of the judicial system, but I feel so far as this act is concerned, this is not contended with maturity.
no, but why do you think Justice Chandrachud, and a man of his intellect, his wisdom, his sagacity, people know about it? And even then, if he is acting in that manner, what would really one say? Is it for the legacy because he's just
I
about to retire, so that people remember him for the kind of changes he brought in just before his retirement? How does one read that?
I would not like to respond this. I don't know what he has thought, what was in his mind. I can't say. But what I noticed that in all these, मेरे को एक पुराना एक हिंदी का couplet याद आ गया. That is with regard to what happening with our system these days. That घर हुआ घूरा बर्बाद हो गया, शौक मालाओं का पूरा हो गया. So now you can draw inference about what I think, what was in his
Sure.
mind.
No, I won't probe you further on this because it's a sensitive issue and it's a matter which relates to the Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court system. So it has its own sensitivities. But I would go one step further now and and ask you this last bit on our interview that Justice D.Y. Chandrachud recently was at his paternal village where he said that he sought the God's help before he was writing the verdict on the Ramjan Bhumi and Babri Masjid. There was a lot of hue and cry on this statement that why a judge should, wear a Hindu sleeve and, say things like that. He should swear by the constitution and not by God. What is your opinion on this, sir?
Serious objections about this statement. A judge is governed by the constitution. Yes, I am a God fearing man. It's all right. What was the requirement? That yes, deliver the justice in accordance with law. Don't be governed by any other thing except law. So yes, if you are going in a public meeting, you are saying that I bowed before the bow before the God for such and such thing, and I think these are this that statement was absolutely undesirable, and at least for a person or a man of having the stature of the Chief Justice of India, it is not at all appropriate. I have serious objections about that.
But everyone is wondering, and that last bit of question before I wind up the interview, that what has happened to Justice D.Y. Chandrachud? People are not expected that he would go to this extent and make comments like this or bring in changes like these where people will just start commenting. And many people say that he's fond of staying in the headlines because he loves to be in the media glare.
What to say about this? This is all his individual issue. I don't want to say anything about that. हर एक जने का अपना तरीका है सोचने का. Everybody thinks in his own way, on fashion. I don't want to comment on that.
All right. All right, sir. Thank you so much, Justice Mathur, for being on the Federal.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
on appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal.